The Amazing Spider-Man 2, internationally titled The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Rise of Electro, 6 is a 2014 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Spider-Man. Produced by Columbia Pictures in association with Marvel Entertainment, Arad Productions Incorporated, Matt Toll Match Productions, and Ingenious Film Studios, and distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing, the film was directed by Mark Webb from a screenplay by Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orsi, and Jeff Pinkner, based on a story conceived by the three alongside James Vanderbilt. It is the sequel to The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012, and stars Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker/Spider-Man, alongside Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx, Dane DeHaan, Campbell Scott, Embeth Davids, Colm Feore, Paul Giamatti, and Sally Field. In the film, Peter Parker tries to protect his girlfriend, Gwen Stacy, as he investigates his parents' death while also dealing with the supervillain Electro and the return of his childhood friend, Harry Osborn. Development of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 began after the success of The Amazing Spider-Man. DeHaan, Giamatti, Felicity Jones, and Chris Cooper were cast between December 2012 and February 2013. Filming took place in New York City from February to June 2013. The film was released in 2D, 3D, and IMAX 3D on May 2, 2014, in the United States, with two international premieres being held between March 31 and April 10 of that year. It received mixed reviews from critics, who praised the chemistry between Stone and Garfield, action sequences, visual effects, and Hans Zimmer's musical score 7/8, but criticized the screenplay and overabundance of plot lines. 9/10/11 Fox's portrayal of Electro was met with mixed responses. 12 It grossed $716.9 million worldwide, making it the ninth highest grossing film of 2014. The Amazing Spider-Man series was originally intended to continue with at least two more sequels and several spin-offs, most notably films centered on Venom and the Sinister Six. In February 2015, Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios initiated a deal to share the Spider-Man film rights and reboot the character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, canceling future projects in the Amazing Spider-Man film series. Tom Holland would succeed Garfield as Peter Parker/Spider-Man beginning with Captain America: Civil War, 2016, while a new standalone film titled Spider-Man: Homecoming would release in 2017, followed by its sequel Spider-Man: Far From Home in 2019, both as part of Phase 3 in the MCU. Both Garfield and Foxx reprised their roles in Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021, linking this film to the MCU using the concept of the multiverse. 1314. Plot. Former Oscorp scientist and businessman Richard Parker records a video message to explain his disappearance. He and his wife Mary flee aboard a private jet that is soon hijacked by an assassin and crashed, killing the couple. In the present, 1 year after his battle with Kurt Connors, Richard and Mary's son, Peter, continues to fight crime as Spider-Man and apprehends Russian criminal Alexei Saitsevich. Due to Peter's reservations about his relationship with his girlfriend Gwen Stacy since making a vow to her late father to avoid her, Gwen ends their relationship after their high school graduation. A few months later, Peter's childhood friend, Harry Osborn, returns home to see his terminally ill father, Norman Osborn, CEO of Oscorp. He explains that his illness is genetic and Harry is at the age where it first develops before dying as his son succeeds him. While working in an Oscorp laboratory, mild-mannered electrical engineer Max Dillon accidentally electrocutes himself and falls into a tank of genetically engineered electric eels which mutate him into an electrokinetic being. Gwen tells Peter that she may move to England if she earns a scholarship to Oxford University. Unaware of the extent of his power, Max wanders into Times Square, inadvertently causes a power outage and is stopped by Spider-Man as he is then taken to the Ravencroft Institute. The first symptoms of Harry's illness begin showing and he uses information his father gave him to deduce that Spider-Man's blood could save him. He asks Peter, who has been selling photos of Spider-Man to the Daily Bugle, to aid him in finding Spider-Man. Peter is unsure of what effects the transfusion would have but knows it could cause a mutation similar to Connor's. He later refuses Harry as Spider-Man, enraging him. Oscorp Vice President Donald Mencken frames Harry for covering up Max's accident and usurps him. Harry offers to liberate Max, who now calls himself Electro, in exchange for getting Harry back inside the Oscorp building. Max agrees. Upon returning to Oscorp, Harry finds venom from the now destroyed genetically altered spiders. However, after he forces Mencken to inject him with the venom, it accelerates his illness and turns him into a goblin-like being, with the built-in emergency protocol in an armored suit restoring his health. By researching subway tokens hidden in his father's belongings, Peter finds Richard's video message in his secret lab in an abandoned subway station. It reveals he had to flee because he refused to cooperate with Norman's plans to make biogenetic weapons with his research. Richard used his own DNA when he made the spiders, so Oscorp cannot recreate them without his blood. When Gwen is offered the scholarship, Peter professes his love for her and they agree to go to England together. When Max causes another power outage, Peter and Gwen restore power and overload Max's body, killing him. The mutated Harry arrives equipped with weaponry, whereupon he discovers Peter's identity and swears revenge for refusing the blood transfusion, taking Gwen to the top of a clock tower and dropping her. Peter subdues Harry but is unable to save Gwen, who falls to her death. Guilt-ridden and depressed, Peter ends his career as Spider-Man. 5 months later, Harry is coping with the after-effects of his transformation while incarcerated at Ravencroft. His associate, Gustav Fiers, visits him and discusses forming a team. Harry orders Fiers to start with Sidesevik, whom he broke out of prison. Equipped with an electromechanical suit of armor, Sidesevik dubs himself the Rhino and rampages through the streets. Peter, re-inspired after watching Gwen's graduation speech, returns to confront him as Spider-Man. Cast: Andrew Garfield, top, and Emma Stone, bottom, the principal cast of the film. Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. An orphan teenage boy who received spider powers after being bitten by a genetically altered spider. Peter first uses his powers to try to hunt down the murderer of his uncle in The Amazing Spider-Man but soon decides to use his powers to fight crime as the vigilante known as Spider-Man. Garfield explained that the suit that he would wear in the film would undergo a new design. Garfield hoped to bring back the theme of him being an orphan, stating, "I want to keep exploring that theme of being fatherless, being motherless, searching for purpose and finding a purpose within himself." He felt that it was his responsibility to take on the role and that he does not take it lightly. 15. Max Charles as a young Peter Parker. Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. A high school student and Peter's girlfriend. When asked about Peter and Gwen's relationship in the sequel, Stone said, "She saves him more than he saves her. She's incredibly helpful to Spider-Man. He's the muscle, she's the brains." 16. Jamie Foxx as Max Dillon / Electro. An electrical engineer who works for Oscorp Industries and is later mutated into a powerful electrokinetic being following an accident, then taking the alias of Electro. Fox described the character as a nobody who initially idolizes Spider-Man. 17. He develops an obsession with Spider-Man after being saved by him and obtains his powers through an accident at Oscorp involving electric eels. Fox stated that the character would be redesigned to be more grounded and that the villain's classic yellow and green suit would be omitted in favor of a modern look, as depicted in the film. 18. Campbell Scott as Richard Parker, Peter's late father. Embeth Davids as Mary Parker, Peter's late mother. Calm Fury as Donald Mencken, Oscorp's vice president and head of the board. He is often in dispute with Harry over his capabilities of being a CEO to Oscorp, claiming that because Harry is a boy, he is incapable of leading the company. Paul Giamatti as Alexei Sidesevik / the Rhino. A pawn for the Russian mafia who allies with Harry and receives an electromechanical and rhinoceros-like suit of armor from him, deciding to call himself the Rhino. Giamatti said of his character, "He's a Russian mobster. Russians are always good villains. I have an ability to just destroy things," he said. "My accent is pretty hammy. I loved doing it. It seemed to me like an opportunity to be as over-the-top hammy as possible. It was really fun." 19. Sally Field as May Parker, Peter's aunt. Field was critical of the lack of depth in her role. During a 2016 appearance on The Howard Stern Show, she said that it's really hard to find a three-dimensional character in the film, and you work it as much as you can, but you can't put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. 20. Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn/Green Goblin. Peter's childhood friend and the son of Norman Osborn. He was sent away to boarding school around the same time Peter's parents disappeared and met him for the first time there. 21. He eventually assumes the role of the Green Goblin after injecting a special serum of spider venom into his body, initially injected to provide a cure, which instead ushers his transformation into the Goblin. Felicity Jones portrays Felicia Hardy, Harry's sidekick at Oscorp. While Jones was only credited as Felicia in the final film, her surname was presented as Hardy in a marketing video for the film's release on digital HD formats. 22. Martin Xokas portrays Ashley Kafka, the head of Ravencroft Institute, and BJ Novak appears as Alastair Smythe, Dylan's boss, and an Oscorp employee. Carrie Coleman, Charlie Depew, Skyla Gisondo, and Jacob Rodier reprise their roles from the first film as Helen Stacy, Philip Stacy, Howard Stacy, and Simon Stacy, respectively, with the latter being uncredited. Chris Cooper, who portrays Norman Osborn, the founder of Oscorp and Harry Osborn's father, and Dennis Leary, who reprises his role as George Stacy, appearing as a soul in Peter's visions, are also in uncredited roles. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee has a cameo appearance as a guest at Peter and Gwen's graduation ceremony. Michael Massey reprises his role as the Man in the Shadows from the first film, with the character now credited as Gustav Fiers, the Gentleman. Shailene Woodley was cast as Mary Jane Watson and filmed scenes that were ultimately cut from the final film. Aidy Bryant appears as a woman dressed as the Statue of Liberty. Production. Development. The Spider-Man film franchise is one of our studio's greatest assets. We are thrilled with the creative team we have assembled to delve more deeply into the world that Mark, Avi, and Matt have begun to explore in The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We believe that Mark, Alex, and Drew have uniquely exciting visions for how to expand the Spider-Man universe in each of these upcoming films. Sony Pictures Entertainment 23. In March 2011, James Vanderbilt was hired to write the sequel to The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012, after scribing the predecessor, before Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman were hired to rewrite the first draft the following year, later joined by Jeff Pinkner. Screenplay credit went to Kurtzman, Orci, and Pinkner, with screen story credit given to the trio and Vanderbilt. 24-25 The sequel's villain was teased in the 2012 film. 26 Webb stated that the origin story would further unfold in the second installment. 27 In June 2012, Webb said he was unsure whether he would return. 28 Though it was confirmed on September 28, 2012, that he would return to direct the sequel. 29:30 He stated that he wanted to create a universe that not only can withstand but anticipate future storylines while also working in and of itself for one movie. 31. Andrew Garfield had also expressed hope to reprise his role. 32 And in September 2012, it was confirmed that he would do so. 29:30 Emma Stone was later confirmed to be reprising her role as Gwen Stacy, having signed a contract for 2 Amazing Spider-Man sequels. 16:33-34 The costume was completely redesigned to be more faithful to the comics, following the mixed reaction of the costume from the first film. The eye lenses were changed to be much larger and solid white, while specially screen-printed fabrics were used to allow the color of the costume to change in different lighting scenarios. The web shooters were also modified to be more streamlined with the suit. 35. Actor J.K. Simmons expressed interest in reprising his role as J. Jonah Jameson from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy should the studio offer it to him. 36. In October 2012, Electro was rumored as the next villain. 37. Jamie Foxx was given the role. 38. 39. 40. That December, Foxx confirmed that he was cast as the character. During an interview with MTV, Foxx explained that the redesign of the character would be more grounded as well as details of his depiction, which were based upon the Ultimate Marvel incarnation of Electro. 41. Eddie Redmayne, Sam Claflin, Douglas Booth, and Boyd Holbrook tested for the role of Harry Osborn, while Alden Ehrenreich and Brady Corbett were also considered. 42. Michael B. Jordan also read for the role. 43. On December 3, 2012, Mark Webb revealed that Dane DeHaan was chosen to play Harry Osborn. 44. Paul Giamatti was confirmed as a cast member in February 2013. 45. Felicity Jones confirmed her involvement with the film under an undisclosed role. 46. Giamatti also indicated in an October 2013 interview that he would return in The Amazing Spider-Man 3 as well. 47. On February 27, 2013, Chris Cooper was cast as Norman Osborn. 48. By October 2012, Shailene Woodley was in talks for the role of Mary Jane Watson. 49. 50. By March 2013, Woodley had concluded filming her small role. 51. Garfield recalled, "I think all of those scenes were in our backyards. We had 2 or 3 scenes with me talking over the fence, and there was one with us riding together on a motorcycle that we never got to shoot." 52. By mid-June, Woodley's role was cut from the film, with director Webb explaining it as a creative decision to streamline the story and focus on Peter and Gwen and their relationship. 53. Filming. This project had the highest level of detail incorporated into digital environments that we'd ever done. The human characters were finished to a very high degree. We had to do a very realistic version of Emma Stone. Spider-Man and Gwen are involved in stunts that would have been very dangerous if real. Jerome Chen, VFX supervisor of Sony Imageworks. 54. Major scenes were shot in Rochester. On February 4, 2013, Mark Webb posted on Twitter that principal photography had begun and that the sequel was being shot on 35mm film in the anamorphic format 55-56 instead of being filmed digitally as the preceding film was. Sony revealed this would be the first Spider-Man film to be filmed entirely in New York State, including a car chase scene that was filmed in Rochester because the speed laws are less restrictive in upstate New York. 57. It became the largest film production ever in New York State. 58. The decision to film in Williamsburg, Brooklyn near the Passover holiday caused some controversy, as critics believed that this was culturally insensitive, and would cause problems with parking. 59. The filming company decided to work with the community and then agreed to adjust its production activities for Passover. 60-61. The producers had assembled a 200-person crew for the 10-day shoot in Rochester, with a total number of 250 local crew members and 150 local extras. 62. The prominent scenes were shot mostly on Main Street of Rochester and were digitally remastered to look like New York City. 63. On March 1, a scene within the movie was filmed in NYC Chinatown's Namwa Tea Parlor. Consequently, Doyle Street was shut down for the day of filming, with the businesses on the street being compensated for the inconvenience. 64. Gwen blurting out Spider-Man's real name after he binds her to a car trunk was unscripted, an ad-lib by Emma Stone. 65. On June 25, Webb posted on Twitter that filming was completed. 66. Soundstage work was done at Grumman Studios and Gold Coast Studios, both in Bethpage, New York, and at the Marcy Armory in Brooklyn. 57-67. The film initially did not have the teaser for the Sinister Six spin-off film, but after test audiences criticized that it was unclear whether Harry had died in battle with Spider-Man, been incarcerated, or escaped, the filmmakers decided they needed to do a scene with Harry after the battle in order to establish his fate. 65 The viewing of Gwen's speech was also a late addition, as initially the film instead had Richard Parker meeting Peter at Gwen's grave. After a great deal of deliberation, the return of Richard Parker was replaced because the majority felt that it overcomplicated the story, infantilized Peter by making it seem that he needed his father's support to resume being Spider-Man, and was one emotional blow too many after Gwen's death. 65. Visual effects. The VFX design of Times Square, where the Battle of Spider-Man and Electro takes place, took 1 year. 68. Sony Pictures Imageworks designed the CGI special effects for the film. 69 The digital composition of the film, including the scene where the Battle of Spider-Man and Electro in Times Square, took 1 year to complete. 68 The sets of Times Square were built in Gold Coast Studios with the green screen. 70 And most of the scenes were digitally redesigned by computer. 71 The photography and VFX team took over 36,000 photos of the Times Square in order to recreate the location digitally. In addition, the animation team captured over 100 billboards during the photography process. 72. The film was post-converted from 2D to 3D, in part because the production team wanted to shoot 35mm film. Dan Mindel used Kodak Vision 3500 T5219 and 200 T5213, while the second unit shot day exteriors on Kodak Vision 350 D5203. 73 During the production, 20 layers of lightning CGI effects were applied to depict Electro. Jamie Foxx was photographed as Electro by the KNB-EFX team, and the skin colors used to show the moods of the character. 74 A total number of 1,600 visual effects shots of the film was originally filmed in 2K resolution and then converted into 4K resolution with the help of color grading. 75 To give the visual effects a realistic look, sound designers Addison Teague and Eric Norris and re-recording mixers Paul Massey and David Gianmarco mixed the background music using Oro 11.1 Cinema sound technology, and the film's soundtrack was remixed using Dolby Atmos, Oro, and Dolby 5.1. 75. Post-production. The film was mixed in Dolby Atmos and Oro 11.1 in the converted William Holden Theatre. The mix for both was completed by Paul Massey and David Gianmarco. 75-76. A mid-credit teaser scene from X-Men: Days of Future Past was added to the film after its London premiere, due to an existing deal between Webb and 20th Century Fox, in which Fox allowed Webb to direct the film if Sony would promote the X-Men film for free. 77 The scene, set during the Vietnam War, shows Mystique, Jennifer Lawrence, a rogue mutant, trying to infiltrate a military camp led by William Stryker, Josh Hellman, in an attempt to recruit fellow mutants Havoc, Lucas Till, and Toad, Evan Jonigkeit. 78-79-80 The scene's inclusion sparked confusion among some viewers in the United Kingdom, who thought it meant an X-Men, Spider-Man crossover film was being planned, based on how Marvel Studios and Disney use codas within the Marvel Cinematic Universe to promote future films. 77. Music. Main article, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Soundtrack. It's on again. Duration, 37 seconds. 037. Problems playing this file? See Media Help. After James Horner declined to return for the sequel, Webb hired Hans Zimmer to compose the music for the film. On October 25, 2013, Pharrell Williams revealed to Billboard that he would co-compose the score with Zimmer. 81 Webb and Zimmer formed a supergroup with Williams, Johnny Marr, Mike Einziger and former Eurythmic, David A. Stewart, to create the music for the sequel. 82 Eventually, Stewart did not participate in the film's music, and the supergroup, credited as the Magnificent Six, a reference to the Sinister Six, was composed of Williams, Marr, Einziger, Junkie XL, Steve Mazzaro, and Andrew Kaczynski assisting Zimmer. The soundtrack for the film was released on April 18, 2014, by Columbia Records and Madison Gate Records. 83 Hans Zimmer described his work for this film as different from previous works by him, thus revealing one of the themes for the film, which was first heard on the website. 84. On March 31, 2014, Alicia Keys and Kendrick Lamar recorded a song titled It's On Again, which was uploaded to SoundCloud. 85 Keys announced the song on Twitter and credited Zimmer and Williams, along with Lamar and herself for the song, indicating the song as a part of the film's soundtrack. 86 Webb described the song as upbeat and exciting. 86. Marketing. Emma Stone promoting The Amazing Spider-Man 2 at Comic-Con in 2011. The release of the film in the United Kingdom was moved up to April 16, 2014, 2 days ahead of its original April 18 date. 87 Deadline reported that, in addition to the production budget, the film's marketing budget was $100 to $150 million. 88. Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx at the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con promoting The Amazing Spider-Man 2. On July 17, 2013, Sony released a clip from the film with the first released footage of Jamie Foxx as Electro to encourage attendance at the panel, at San Diego Comic-Con. 89 At the panel they premiered a 4-minute trailer, which was not publicly released but eventually leaked on the internet. Viral marketing for the film included a version of the Daily Bugle on the blogging service Tumblr, which included references to Kate Cushing, Detective Stan Carter, The Big Man, Izzy Bunsen, Joy Mercado 1991 Donald Mencken, The Vulture, Hydro Man, Spencer Smythe, Ned Leeds 92 93 94 and Weighing, J. Jonah Jameson 95 Shocker, Alastair Smythe, Dr. Octopus, Eddie Brock 96 The Enforcers, and Puma. 97-98 Mark Webb posted a photo on Twitter with a message written in Dwarven language revealing that the first trailer would debut prior to 3D screenings of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. 99-100. On December 8, 2013, it was announced that new footage from the film would be presented during New Year's Eve festivities at New York City's Times Square. 101 The film was further promoted during the Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, Earth Hour campaign. The cast was present at the launch of the 2014 event in Singapore. 102 Disney Consumer Products announced a merchandise product line for the film at the American International Toy Fair on February 17, 2014. 103 Additionally, McDonald's released Happy Meal toys themed to the film. 104. In March 2014, Gameloft and Marvel announced the launch of a mobile game of the same name for smartphones and tablets. 105 106 It was released on consoles afterward. 107 Kellogg's released an application featuring the film. 108 Evian served as a promotional partner of the film. On April 1, 2014, the brand released an advertisement The Amazing Baby and Me Too featuring Spider-Man and a baby version of him, as a follow-up to their original Baby and Me campaign. 109 The film partnered with NBC Universal for advertising. Spots for the film appeared on Bravo, E! USA, Sci-Fi, Telemundo, and Mun2. A customized page was created on Fandango. 110 In May 2014, Marvel announced that Spider-Man's costume from the film would be shown within Marvel, Avengers Alliance. 111. In March 2024, Sony announced that all of their live-action Spider-Man films would be re-released in theaters as part of Columbia Pictures' 100th anniversary celebration. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was re-released on May 13, 2024. 112. Home Media. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was released by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment for digital download on August 5, 2014, and was released on Blu-ray, Blu-ray 3D and DVD on August 19, 2014. 113 The Blu-ray/DVD release includes an alternate ending in which Peter Parker's father meets Peter at Gwen's resting place. 114 Creative agency Deckhouse Digital was hired to produce several animated GIFs ahead of the film's Blu-ray/DVD release as part of a sponsored ad campaign on Tumblr. 116 The Amazing Spider-Man 2 received a standalone 4K UHD Blu-ray release on March 1, 2016. 117 The film was later included in the Spider-Man Legacy Collection, a 4K UHD Blu-ray collection which includes the first 5 Spider-Man films, and was released on October 17, 2017. 118 In April 2021, Sony signed a deal with Disney to let Sony's titles, including past Spider-Man films, films in Sony's Spider-Man universe, SU, and other Marvel content to stream on Hulu and Disney+. A significant number of Sony titles began streaming on Hulu starting in June 2021. 119 It includes films from 2022 onwards. While the deal only concerns the United States, titles from Sony Pictures begun to also be added to Disney Plus in regions outside of the US, as early as June 2022. This includes most Spider-Man films, including The Amazing Spider-Man 2. 120 Reception. Box office. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 grossed $203.6 million in the United States and Canada and $513.3 million in other countries for a worldwide gross of $716.9 million. 5 Deadline Hollywood calculated the net profit of the film to be $70.38 million, when factoring together all expenses and revenues for the film, making it one of the top 20 most profitable releases of 2014. 121. The film grossed $8.7 million on its early Thursday night showings. 122. It finished its opening weekend in first place with $91.6 million, almost $30 million more than the opening weekend gross of the first film. 123. Upon opening, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had the second highest domestic opening weekend for a 2014 film, behind Captain America: The Winter Soldier. 124. In its second weekend, the film grossed $35.5 million, falling 61%, and dropped to second at the box office behind newcomer Neighbors. It was similar to the 61.5% second week drop of Spider-Man 3, 2007. 125. 126. Outside North America, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 opened on April 16, 2014, to $2.73 million in the UK and to $190,000 in Belgium, while opening to $1.44 million in Australia and $1.11 million in Germany. 127. Within a few days, the opening gross in the UK increased to $15 million, breaking the Lego Movie's record for having the country's largest opening weekend of the year. 128. The film's release in India was the biggest opening weekend for an American film at that point, with 41 Indian rupees crore, $4.8 million. Its final box office collection was $13.44 million there, one of the highest of all time by a Hollywood film. 129. In China, the film played on 11,002 screens, which is the biggest release of any film in history. 130. On its opening day in Hong Kong, the film earned $1.23 million, the highest opening gross in the territory. 131. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 holds an approval rating of 50% based on 313 reviews, and an average rating of 5.8/10. The site's critical consensus reads, "While the cast is outstanding and the special effects are top-notch, the latest installment of the Spidey saga suffers from an unfocused narrative and an overabundance of characters." 132. On Metacritic, The film has a weighted average score of 53 out of 100 based on 50 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 133 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale, lower than an A earned by its predecessor. 135. The Los Angeles Times said, "The film is overstuffed with plot lines, set pieces, and villains, although stars Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone do their best to give the movie heart." 136. Tim Roby of The Telegraph said, "Mark Webb's Spider-Man sequel is overstuffed with high-voltage villains, but the sparks between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone save the day." 137. Mike McGranagan from the aisle seat gave the film a rating of 2.5 out of 4, calling it the Batman and Robin of the entire Spy series. 138. John Nickham of the Kansas City Star gave it a score of 1.5 out of 4 stars and said, "One must go back to the Joel Schumacher Batman fiascos to find a director more disconnected from his superhero source material." 139. Simon Reynolds of Digital Spy said, "Peter's past, present and future all intertwine in a sequel that offers bang for your buck. That said, you can't help but feel the franchise beam counters at work here thanks to all the ominous foreshadowing and unresolved character arcs. Too many cooks and all that." 140. In a mixed review, Michael Bergen of Paste magazine said, "Ultimately, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is noteworthy for one thing, not waiting until the third or fourth film to achieve the overstuffed, increasingly garish look one associates with less popular, 2007 Spider-Man 3, and outright ridiculed, 1997's Batman and Robin, franchise efforts." 141. Kim Newman of Empire scored the film 3 out of 5 stars, saying, "A few too broad gags aside, and even these are in the funky spirit of 60s Marvel, this is a satisfying second issue with thrills, heartbreak, gasps, and a perfectly judged slingshot ending." 142. Leslie Fulperin of The Hollywood Reporter said, "The eponymous hero hits his superheroic stride here, as does Andrew Garfield in the role, especially when Spider-Man's alter ego Peter Parker learns there's always some fine print in a contract with this many benefits. The plot gets itself tangled up in multiple villain strands, but in the main, this installment is emotionally weightier and more satisfying than its predecessor." 143. Guy Lodge of Variety said, "Redundancy remains a problem, but this overlong superhero sequel gets by on sound, fury, and star chemistry." 144. Richard Roper gave the film a B+, stating that it's about 20 minutes too long and it's overstuffed with too many characters and too many subplots, but there's enough good stuff in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 to warrant optimism about the next chapter of the franchise. 145. A negative review came from Peter Travers of Rolling Stone, giving the film 2 stars out of 4. He said, "Things go wrong quickly with Amazing 2. Am I the only one who hates the word amazing to describe a movie that isn't? Just asking." 146. IGN reviewer Daniel Krupa gave 6.9/10 and wrote, "Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets a lot right, yet there's a constant awkwardness to the machinery of its plot, you can almost hear the cogs turning. However, what's worse is that at times it becomes overtly patronizing. There are flashing screens and computer voiceovers constantly telling you what something is or what something is doing, just in case the people in the back rows aren't paying attention, which feels at odds with the film's emotional intelligence." 147. William Harrison of DVD Talk rated the film as 3.5 stars of 5 stars as recommended. 148. Accolades. Award category recipient result ref. Teen Choice Awards Choice Movie, Sci-Fi/Fantasy The Amazing Spider-Man 2 nominated 149. Choice Movie Actor, Sci-Fi/Fantasy Andrew Garfield nominated. Choice Movie Actress, Sci-Fi/Fantasy Emma Stone nominated. Choice Movie, Villain Jamie Foxx nominated. Choice Movie, Lip Lock Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone nominated. Kids' Choice Awards Favorite Movie The Amazing Spider-Man 2 nominated 151. Favorite Movie Actor Jamie Foxx nominated. Favorite Movie Actress Emma Stone 1. Favorite Male Action Star Andrew Garfield nominated. Favorite Villain Jamie Foxx nominated. Saturn Awards Best Comic to Film Motion Picture The Amazing Spider-Man 2 nominated 152. ASCAP Awards Top Box Office Films The Amazing Spider-Man 2 won 154. ASCAP Honors Top Film and TV Composers Hans Zimmer and The Magnificent Six won. Legacy. Cancelled sequels and spin-offs. Sony had originally intended the film to launch an expansive film universe around Spider-Man to compete with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In 2013, Sony announced a third Amazing Spider-Man film with a release date of June 10, 2016, with Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orci, and Jeff Pinkner returning to write, and a fourth film with a release date of May 4, 2018. 156. The series was to include spin-off films featuring the Sinister Six and Venom, with Drew Goddard writing and directing the two-part Sinister Six and Kurtzman directing a Venom Carnage script co-written by himself, Orci, and Ed Solomon. 157. 159. Garfield had discussions with Goddard about reprising his role as Spider-Man in Sinister Six. 160. Sinister Six Part 1 had been planned for a November 11, 2016, release. 161. 162. Additionally, by August 2014, Sony had hired Lisa Joy to write the script for a 2017 female lead film featuring Felicia Hardy/Black Cat. 162. Sony announced plans for a spin-off based on Spider-Man 2099 to be released in late 2017. 163. The character later appeared in the post-credits scene of Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse, 2018, voiced by Oscar Isaac, and was heavily featured in Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse as a main character in an antagonist role. He is also set to feature heavily in the final installment in that trilogy, Spider-Man: Beyond the Spider-Verse. 164. However, between December 2013 and the release of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in May 2014, Garfield and Webb stated that while they would both return for the third film, neither was certain of their involvement in the fourth, with Webb confirming that he would not be directing. 165. 166. 167. Following the mixed critical reviews and franchise low box office performance of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the future of the franchise was unclear. By July 2014, Orci had left the third film to work on Star Trek Beyond, 2016. 168. The Amazing Spider-Man 3, which would have included Chris Cooper returning as Norman Osborn. 169. 170. And focused on Peter recovering from Gwen Stacy's death. 171 was delayed to an unspecified date in 2018, and The Amazing Spider-Man 4 was moved to an unknown date. 161. Following the 2014 Sony Pictures hack, Emma Stone was revealed to be in talks to return as a resurrected Stacy in the 2017 female lead film and The Amazing Spider-Man 4 as the antagonist Carnage. Sony was further revealed to be in talks to have Sam Raimi return to the franchise to direct a new trilogy for his version of the character along with a Spider-Man vs. The Amazing Spider-Man movie, and was in discussion with Marvel Studios about including Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Captain America: Civil War. Marvel reportedly was unhappy with some of the terms of the proposed arrangement, including the film rights staying with Sony, and both talks allegedly ceased. 172. 173. In early 2015, a deal between the studios that allows Spider-Man to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was reached, effectively canceling the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. 174 Speaking to Amy Adams for Variety's Actors on Actors YouTube series in 2016, Garfield described himself as being left heartbroken by his experience on working on the Amazing Spider-Man films. 175. Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures co-production, Spider-Man: No Way Home, was released in 2021. Being an adaptation of Marvel Comics' multiverse stories 176, it temporarily transported alternate reality versions of Spider-Man and other characters across the multiverse to the main Marvel Cinematic Universe continuity. 177 This includes characters from both movies in the Amazing Spider-Man duology, as well as the Spider-Man trilogy directed by Sam Raimi. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire reprised their roles as Spider-Man. 178 No Way Home also includes a roster of villains from earlier Spider-Man films. Jamie Foxx returns as Max Dillon as portrayed in this movie, although he looks more yellow instead of blue, and his outfit at the final battle resembles more closely that of the comics, along with Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina reprising their versions of Norman Osborn and Otto Octavius from Sam Raimi's trilogy. 179 In limited roles involving voice acting and use of archival footage, Rhys Ifans reprised his role as Kurt Connors from The Amazing Spider-Man, and Thomas Hayden Church returned as Flint Marko from Spider-Man 3. 180. Following the events of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, No Way Home depicts Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker as being haunted by his inability to save Gwen Stacy from her fall, and ends up saving Michelle Jones Watson from a similar fate in that movie's climax. Andrew Russell Garfield, born August 20, 1983, is an English and American actor. 234 After his breakout role in Boye, 2007, he came to international attention with the supporting role of Eduardo Saverin in the drama The Social Network, 2010. He gained wider recognition for playing Spider-Man in the superhero films The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014, and Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021. Garfield received nominations for the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayals of Desmond Doss in the war film Hacksaw Ridge, 2016, and Jonathan Larson in the musical drama Tick, Tick, Boom, 2021. He also won a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor for the latter. His other film credits include Never Let Me Go, 2010, Silence, 2016, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, 2021, and We Live in Time, 2024. On television, he starred as a Mormon detective in the crime drama miniseries Under the Banner of Heaven, 2022, for which he was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor. On stage, Garfield made his Broadway debut playing Biff Loman in the 2012 revival of Death of a Salesman, for which he was nominated for the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Play. He played Prior Walter in Angels in America in the West End in 2017, receiving a nomination for the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actor. He reprised the role on Broadway in 2018, winning the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play. Early life. Andrew Russell Garfield was born on August 20, 1983, in Los Angeles, California. 5. His mother, Lynn, née Hillman, 6 was from Essex, England, and his father, Richard Garfield, is from California. 7. 8. Richard's parents were also from the United Kingdom. 9. Garfield's parents moved the family from the United States to the United Kingdom when he was 3 years old, and he was brought up in Epsom, Surrey. 7. 10. 11. 12. He is Jewish on his father's side, and describes himself as a Jewish artist. 13. 14. 15. 16. His paternal grandparents were from Jewish immigrant families who moved to London from Poland, Russia, and Romania, and the family surname was originally Garfinkel. 9. 17. 18. In April 2025, Garfield participated in the British TV show Who Do You Think You Are? 19. He uncovered his Jewish roots in Kielce, Poland, and also found that a great-great-aunt, Rukla Garfinkel, married the first cousin of Vladislav Spilman, the subject of the 2002 film The Pianist. 20. Garfield's parents ran a small interior design business. His mother was also a teaching assistant at a nursery school, and his father became head coach of the Guildford City Swimming Club. 21-22 He has an older brother who is an NHS doctor at Royal Brompton Hospital. 23-24 Garfield was a gymnast and a swimmer during his early years. 8-21 He had originally intended to study business, but became interested in acting at the age of 16 when a friend convinced him to take theater studies at A-level, as they were one pupil short of being able to run the class. 25-26 Garfield attended Priory Preparatory School in Banstead and later City of London Freeman's School in Ashted, before training at the Central School of Speech and Drama, University of London. 27-21-28 His first job was at Starbucks, being moved between three separate establishments in Golders Green and Hendon. 29-30 Career. Early work and breakthrough, 2004 to 2011. Garfield attending the premiere of The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus at the 2009 Toronto International Film Festival. Garfield began taking acting classes in Guildford, Surrey, when he was 9, and appeared in a youth theatre production of Bugsy Malone. 23 He also joined a small youth theatre workshop group in Epsom and took theatre studies at A-level. 26 Before studying for a further 3 years at a UK conservatoire, the Central School of Speech and Drama. 31 Upon graduating in 2004, he began working primarily in stage acting. In 2004, he won a Manchester Evening News Theatre Award for Best Newcomer for his performance in Kes at Manchester's Royal Exchange Theatre, where he also played Romeo the year after, and won the Outstanding Newcomer Award at the 2006 Evening Standard Theatre Awards. 11 Garfield made his British television debut in 2005 appearing in the Channel 14 drama Sugar Rush. 11 In 2007, he garnered public attention when he appeared in the Series 3 of the BBC's Doctor Who, in the episodes Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks. Garfield commented that it was an honor to be a part of Doctor Who. 32 In October 2007, he was named one of Variety's 10 actors to watch. 33 He made his American film debut in November 2007, playing an American university student in the ensemble drama Lions for Lambs, with co-stars Tom Cruise, Meryl Streep, and Robert Redford. 33 I'm just lucky to be there working on the same project as them, although I don't really expect to be recognized later by audiences, Garfield told Variety in 2007. 33 In his review for the Boston Globe, Wesley Morris considered Garfield's work a willing punching bag for the movie's jabs and low blows. 34. In the Channel 4 drama Boye, released in November 2007, he portrayed a notorious killer trying to find new life after prison. 35 The role garnered him the 2008 BAFTA Award for Best Actor. 36 Amy Biancali of the Houston Chronicle wrote, "There is no doubt about the intelligence and sensitivity of Garfield's portrayal." 35 Minneapolis Star-Tribune's Christy DeSmith echoed Biancali's sentiment, citing his detailed expressions as an example. 37 Writing in the Seattle Times, John Hartle noted that Garfield demonstrated range in the role, and concluded, "Garfield always manages to capture his passion." 38 Joe Morgenstern, the critic for the Wall Street Journal, dubbed Garfield's performance phenomenal, assessing that he makes room for the many and various pieces of Jack's personality. 39 In 2008, he had a minor role in the film The Other Bullen Girl, and was named one of the shooting stars at the Berlin International Film Festival. 33-40 In 2009, Garfield held supporting roles in the Terry Gilliam film The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus and the Red Riding television trilogy. 41-42 Kenneth Duran of the Los Angeles Times thought that Garfield gave a standout performance in the latter. 42. With Justin Timberlake at an event for The Social Network in 2010. In 2010, Garfield co-starred opposite Carey Mulligan and Keira Knightley in Mark Romanek's dystopian science fiction drama Never Let Me Go, an adaptation of Kazuo Ishijiro's 2005 novel of the same name. He said of his character, Tommy D, "There's a sense of anxiety that runs through these kids, especially Tommy, because he's so sensory and feeling and animalistic. That's my perspective of him." 43. Garfield was attracted to the film based on the existential questions the story expresses. 43. He said the experience of being a part of Never Let Me Go was just a dream to come true. 44. He further remarked that the scenes in which his character, unable to contain his frustration, erupts with a wail, were intense for him. "I think those screams are inside all of us, I just got a chance to let mine out." 45. For his portrayal of a well-meaning, but dim young man caught in a love triangle, he won the 2010 Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor. 46. Writing for Entertainment Weekly, Owen Gleiberman praised the performances of the lead cast, reflecting that these three all act with a spooky, haunted innocence that gets under your skin. 47. In comparison to Mulligan and Knightley, Scott Bowles, writing for USA Today, deemed Garfield the real find of Never Let Me Go. 48. The same year, Garfield co-starred opposite Jesse Eisenberg in The Social Network, a drama based on the founders of Facebook. On his character, Garfield remarked, "No one knows who Eduardo Saverin is, and I don't either. Of course, the fact he's a real-life human being, breathing on this earth somewhere, creates a whole new dimension to my approach because you feel a greater sense of responsibility." 49. Initially, the film's director, David Fincher, had met Garfield under the auspices of him playing Mark Zuckerberg, having been referred to him by Mark Romanek. 49. However, Fincher did not like Garfield for the part as he found Garfield's incredible emotional access to his kind of core humanity better tailored for the role of Saverin. 49. 50. Garfield's performance was very well received. He earned wider recognition and numerous nominations, including BAFTA nominations for Best Actor in a Supporting Role and Rising Star, as well as a Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance in a Supporting Role. 51. 52. Mark Kermode of the BBC expressed his surprise that Garfield had been overlooked for an Academy Award nomination, opining that everyone knows he's one of the very best things about The Social Network. 53. Writing in the Wall Street Journal, Joe Morgenstern thought the role was portrayed with great subtlety and rueful charm. 54. Rolling Stone said Garfield delivered a vulnerability that raises the emotional stakes in a movie, and proclaimed, "Keep your eyes on Garfield, he's shatteringly good, the soul of a film that might otherwise be without one." 55. The Amazing Spider-Man and Worldwide Recognition, 2012 to 2016. Garfield at the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con. Garfield was cast as Spider-Man/Peter Parker, opposite Emma Stone as his love interest Gwen Stacy, in Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012, a reboot of the Spider-Man film series. 56. 57. 58. 59. Garfield saw his casting as a massive challenge in many ways, having to make the character authentic and live and breathe in a new way. 60. He described Peter as someone he could relate to and stated that the character had been an important influence on him since he was a child. 61. 62. 63. 64. For the role, he studied movements of athletes and spiders, and tried to incorporate them. 65. 66. And practiced yoga and Pilates. 67. The Amazing Spider-Man earned a worldwide total of $752,216,557. 68. And Garfield's performance was generally well received. 69. 70. The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw labeled his portrayal as the definitive Spider-Man, and Tom Charity of CNN commended his combination of fresh-faced innocence, nervous agitation, and wry humor. 71. 72. 73. In March 2012, Garfield made his Broadway theater debut as Biff Loman in the revival of Death of a Salesman. 74. 75. According to the New York Times' David Rooney, Garfield had successfully exposed the raw ache of Biff's solitude. 76. Garfield was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Play for his performance. 76. 2 years later, Garfield hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live and appeared in a music video for the song We Exist by Arcade Fire, playing a trans woman. 77. 78. 79. 80. Also in 2014, he co-produced and starred in the 2014 independent drama 99 Homes and reprised the titular role in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. 81. 82. 83. Following a deal between Sony and Marvel Studios to integrate the Spider-Man character into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sequels to the latter film were scrapped, and the role was taken on by Tom Holland in a reboot. 84. Arachnologists Yuri M. Marasik and Ali Reza Zamani honored Garfield's portrayal of the role by naming a new species of crevice weaver spider, Parita garfieldi, after him. 85. 86. Following a year-long absence from the screen, Garfield had starring roles in two films of 2016, Martin Scorsese's drama Silence and Mel Gibson's war film Hacksaw Ridge. In the former, based on Shosaku Endo's 1966 novel of the same name, Garfield played Sebastião Rodrigues, a Portuguese Jesuit priest in the 17th century who travels to Japan to spread his faith. 87. Garfield spent a year with James Martin studying to be a Jesuit priest and went on a silent retreat in Wales. The film's arduous principal photography took place in Taiwan, and Garfield lost 40 pounds, 18 kilograms, to achieve his character's physicality. 18. Kate Taylor of the Globe and Mail disliked the film and wrote that Garfield is sweetly resolute and gently anguished as the missionary Rodriguez, but any hope that the actor might elucidate the psychology of philosophical certitude or the pain of religious doubt proves vain. 88. At the box office, it earned less than half of its $50 million budget. 89. 90. Hacksaw Ridge, however, was a commercial success, earning over $175.3 million worldwide. 91. In it, Garfield portrayed Desmond Doss, a combat medic during World War II, who was the first conscientious objector in American history to be awarded the Medal of Honor. 92. 93. Writing for USA Today, Brian Truitt labeled the film as brutally intense and elegantly crafted. He believed that the central role allowed Garfield to bring depth to his career and commended him for portraying Doss with both simple sweetness and steadfast mettle. 94. He received a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor for Hacksaw Ridge. 95. Established career, 2017, present. Garfield promoting Breathe in 2017. Garfield played the role of Prior Walter in Tony Kushner's two-part play Angels in America at the Littleton Theatre in the National Theatre, London from April to August 2017, and the performance was broadcast live to cinemas around the world in summer 2017 through the National Theatre Live series. It was directed by Marianne Elliott and co-starred Nathan Lane, James McArdle, Russell Tovey, and Denise Gough. 96. 97. Paul T. Davis of the British Theatre Guide wrote that Garfield was transformative and unrecognizable in places, completely inhabiting camp, laconic, frightened and totally lovable Prior Walter. 98. He was nominated for the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actor. 99. Garfield's sole film release of 2017 was the biopic Breathe, in which he portrayed Robin Cavendish, a young man paralyzed by polio. In preparation, he interacted with individuals who had polio and collaborated closely with Cavendish's wife and son. 100. Stephen Dalton of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that despite an exceptional story, the film had glossed over the complexities in Cavendish's life, and thought that Garfield was hampered by a role that restricts him to little more than nodding and grinning. 101. In March 2018, Garfield reprised the role of Prior when the Angels in America production transferred to Broadway for an 18-week limited engagement at the Neil Simon Theatre, alongside a majority of the London cast. 102. Reviewing the production for The Washington Post, Peter Marks remarked that nothing Garfield's done prepares you for the star-powered dexterity of his Prior and considered his performance to be the persuasive moral core of the piece. 103. He won the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play for his performance. 104. The 2018 Cannes Film Festival marked the premiere of Garfield's next film, the David Robert Mitchell-directed neo-noir Under the Silver Lake. In it, he played Sam, an unemployed and wayward young man who sets out on a journey to find his neighbor who has mysteriously disappeared. 105 Writing for Vanity Fair, Richard Lawson found Garfield to be great in the role, doing nimble, subtle bits of physical comedy and teasing out the creepy, menacing side of Sam. 106 Garfield starred in Gia Coppola's drama Mainstream, alongside Maya Hawke and Jason Schwartzman, which had its world premiere at the 2020 Venice Film Festival. 107 108 109 Garfield in 2024. In 2021, Garfield starred in The Eyes of Tammy Faye opposite Jessica Chastain, a drama about the televangelists Tammy Faye and Jim Bakker. 110 which had its world premiere at the 2021 Toronto International Film Festival. 111 That same year, Garfield portrayed composer Jonathan Larson in Lin-Manuel Miranda's film adaptation of Tick, Tick, Boom. 112 Miranda had first seen Garfield performing on stage in Angels in America. Garfield, who had not professionally sung before, underwent vocal training in preparation for the role. 113 The film was released on Netflix. 114 For his performance, Garfield received the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, and a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. 115 116 Despite issuing repeated public denials to the contrary, Garfield reprised his role as Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Spider-Man: No Way Home, starring alongside his Spider-Man successor Tom Holland and predecessor Tobey Maguire. 117 Garfield described his experience working on the film as joyful, and said that it gave him closure with his version of the Spider-Man character. He also said that he would be open to reprising the role in future if it felt right. 118 In 2022, Garfield was included on Time magazine's annual list of 100 most influential people in the world. 119 He starred in Dustin Lance Black's miniseries Under the Banner of Heaven, an adaptation of John Krakauer's book of the same name, that same year. 120 Reviewing the miniseries, Vulture's Catherine Van Arendonk highlighted Garfield's almost flagrantly tender portrayal of Jeb Pyre, a Mormon detective. 121 His performance earned him a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. 122 In 2024, Garfield starred opposite Florence Pugh in John Crowley's romance We Live in Time. 123 He will next star with Julia Roberts in Luca Guadagnino's thriller After the Hunt, and also star in The Magic Faraway Tree, a family film based on Enid Blyton's book series of the same name. 124 125 In May 2025, he was cast to play Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy in the Apple TV Plus miniseries Wild Things. 126 Personal life. Garfield has referred to himself as an agnostic pantheist, 127 12 although he identifies as Jewish. 41 128 129 Having completed the spiritual exercises of Ignatius of Loyola after playing a Jesuit in silence, he said that what was really easy was falling in love with this person, was falling in love with Jesus Christ. That was the most surprising thing. 130 Garfield holds dual citizenship in the United States and the United Kingdom. 131 74 27 132 133 In 2009, he told the Sunday Herald that he felt equally at home in both countries and enjoyed a varied cultural existence. 134 When asked again in 2019, he stated, "I identify more as Jewish than anything. I have a love-hate relationship with both countries and used to be very proud to have both passports. Today, I'm slightly less proud." 128 Garfield's primary place of residence is in North London near Hampstead Heath. 135 He told Sean Keaveney on a podcast in 2021 that he considers England home as that is where his family and friends are. 4 He is a fan of basketball. 136 Garfield customarily gives interviews about his work but does not publicly discuss details of his private life. 137 In 2011, Garfield began dating his The Amazing Spider-Man co-star Emma Stone sometime during production of the film. 64 138 In 2015, they were rumored to have broken up although no formal statement was released. 139 140 When asked about his sexuality, Garfield identified himself as heterosexual, but has stated, "I have an openness to any impulses that may arise within me at any time." 141 Since early 2025, Garfield has been in a relationship with actress Monica Barbaro. 142 143 Garfield's mother, Lynn, died of pancreatic cancer while he was filming The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and shortly before Tick, Tick, Boom began production, he was able to fly home to be with her. 144 145 In 2021 he spoke about his grief on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. 146 He discussed it again in 2024 in an interview with Anderson Cooper on CNN, as well as in an episode with Elmo on Sesame Street. 147 148 In 2011, Garfield became the ambassador of sport for the Worldwide Orphans Foundation. 149 In October 2023, Garfield was a signatory in an open letter by Artists for Ceasefire to President Joe Biden, calling for a ceasefire in the Gaza war. Garfield has also voiced support for the lives of Palestinians. 150 151 152 Garfield has often criticized the capitalist system and consumerism. Emily Jean Emma Stone, born November 6, 1988, is an American actress and film producer. Her accolades include 2 Academy Awards, 2 British Academy Film Awards, and 2 Golden Globe Awards. In 2017, she was the world's highest-paid actress and named by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. Stone began acting as a child in a theater production of The Wind in the Willows in 2000. As a teenager, she relocated to Los Angeles and made her television debut in Search of the New Partridge Family, 2004, a reality show that produced only an unsold pilot. After small television roles, she appeared in a series of well-received comedy films, such as Superbad, 2007, Zombieland, 2009, and Easy A, 2010, which was Stone's first leading role. Following this breakthrough, she starred in the romantic comedy Crazy, Stupid, Love, 2011, and the period drama The Help, 2011, and gained wider recognition as Gwen Stacy in the 2012 superhero film The Amazing Spider-Man and its 2014 sequel. Stone received nominations for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for playing a recovering drug addict in Birdman, 2014, and Abigail Masham in The Favorite, 2018. The latter marked her first of many collaborations with director Yorgos Lanthimos. She won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for her roles as an aspiring actress in the romantic musical La La Land, 2016, and a resurrected suicide perpetrator in Lanthimos's comic fantasy Poor Things, 2023. She also portrayed tennis player Billie Jean King in Battle of the Sexes, 2017, and the title role in Cruella, 2021. On television, she starred in the dark comedy miniseries Maniac, 2018, and The Curse, 2023. On Broadway, Stone starred as Sally Bowles in a revival of the musical Cabaret, 2014 to 2015. She and her husband, Dave Meekeri, founded the production company Fruit Tree in 2020. Early life. Emily Jean Stone was born on November 6, 1988, in Scottsdale, Arizona 1-2 to Jeffrey Charles Stone, the founder and CEO of a general contracting company, and Krista Jean Stone, née Yeager, a homemaker. 3-4 She lived on the grounds of the Camelback Inn Resort from ages 12 to 15. 5-6 She has a younger brother, Spencer. 7 Her paternal grandfather, Konrad Ostbergstan, was from a Swedish family that anglicized their surname to Stone. She also has German, English, Scottish, and Irish ancestry. 8. Valley Youth Theater in Phoenix, Arizona, where Stone appeared in 16 productions. As an infant, Stone had baby colic and cried frequently. She consequently developed nodules and calluses on her vocal cords while she was a child. 9 Stone has described herself as loud and bossy while growing up. 10 She was educated at Sequoia Elementary School and attended Cacopa Middle School for 6th grade. Stone did not like school, though once said that her controlling nature meant that I made sure I got all A's. 11 She suffered panic attacks and anxiety as a child. 12 and said they caused a decline in her social skills. 13 Stone underwent therapy but said it was her participation in local theater plays that helped cure the attacks, recalling, "The first time I had a panic attack I was sitting in my friend's house, and I thought the house was burning down. I called my mom and she brought me home, and for the next 3 years it just would not stop. I would go to the nurse at lunch most days and just wring my hands. I would ask my mom to tell me exactly how the day was going to be, then ask again 30 seconds later. I just needed to know that no one was going to die and nothing was going to change." 12. Stone wanted to act since age 4. 6 She wanted a career in sketch comedy initially, but shifted her focus to musical theater, and took vocal lessons for several years. 14 Her acting debut, at age 11, came in a stage production of The Wind in the Willows, playing Otter. 15 Stone was homeschooled for 2 years, during which time she appeared in 16 productions at Phoenix's Valley Youth Theater including The Princess and the Pea, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and Joseph, and The Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat 3 and performed with the theater's improvisational comedy troupe. 16 Around this time, she traveled to Los Angeles and auditioned unsuccessfully for a role on Nickelodeon's All That. 17 Her parents later sent her for private acting lessons with a local acting coach, who had worked at the William Morris Agency in the 1970s. 4. Stone attended Xavier College Preparatory and all-girl Catholic high school as a freshman, but dropped out after 1 semester to become an actress. 3 She prepared a PowerPoint presentation for her parents titled Project Hollywood, featuring Madonna's 2003 song Hollywood, to convince them to let her move to California to pursue an acting career. 14 In January 2004, she moved with her mother to an apartment in Los Angeles. She recalled, "I went up for every single show on the Disney Channel and auditioned to play the daughter on every single sitcom," adding, "I ended up getting none." 6. Between auditions for roles, she enrolled in online high school classes and worked part-time at a dog treat bakery. 412. Career beginnings, 2004 to 2009. When Stone registered for the Screen Actors Guild at age 16, the name Emily Stone was already taken, and she briefly went by Riley Stone. 18 She made her television debut as Lori Partridge on the VH1 talent competition reality show In Search of the New Partridge Family, 2004. The resulting show, retitled The New Partridge Family, 2004, remained an unsold pilot. 19 After guest starring in the television shows Medium, 2005, and Malcolm in the Middle, 2006, she decided to change her stage name to Emma, chosen in honor of Emma Bunton of the Spice Girls, as she struggled to adapt to the name Riley. 1822 She next appeared in Louis C.K.'s HBO series Lucky Louie, 2006, 12 and unsuccessfully auditioned to star as Claire Bennett in the NBC science fiction drama Heroes, 2007, later calling this her rock-bottom experience. 4 In April 2007, she played Violet Trimble in the Fox action drama Drive, but the show was cancelled after 7 episodes. 3. Stone made her feature film debut in Greg Motola's comedy Superbad, 2007, co-starring Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. The film tells the story of two high school students who go through a series of comic misadventures after they plan to buy alcohol for a party. To play Hill's romantic interest, she dyed her hair red. 23. Stone has described the experience of acting in her first film as amazing, but very different than other experiences I've had since then. 24. The film was a commercial success, and earned her the Young Hollywood Award for Exciting New Face. 25. 26. Stone in 2009. The next year, Stone starred in the comedy The Rocker, 2008, as Amelia Stone, the straight-face bass guitarist in a band. She learned to play the bass for the role. 27. The actress, who has called herself a big smiler and laugher, said she found it difficult to play a character whose personality was so different from her own. The film and her performance received negative reviews from critics and was a commercial failure. 28. 29. Her next release, the romantic comedy The House Bunny, performed better at the box office, becoming a moderate commercial success. 30. The film saw her play the president of a sorority, and perform a cover version of the Waitress's 1982 song I Know What Boys Like. 31. Reviews were generally negative. 32. But Stone was praised. 33. With TV Guide's Ken Fox writing that she is well on her way to becoming a star. 34. Stone appeared in 3 films released in 2009. The first of these was opposite Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Garner and Michael Douglas in Mark Waters's Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Loosely based on Charles Dickens's 1843 novella A Christmas Carol, the romantic comedy has her playing a ghost who haunts her former boyfriend. Critical reaction to the film was negative, but it was a modest commercial success. 35. 36. Her most financially profitable venture that year was Ruben Fleischer's $102.30 million grossing horror comedy film Zombieland 37, in which she featured alongside Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, and Abigail Breslin. In the film, she appeared as a con artist and survivor of a zombie apocalypse, in a role which Chris Hewitt of Empire magazine thought was somewhat underwritten. 38. In a more positive review, Tim Roby of the Daily Telegraph called the hugely promising Stone a tough cookie who projects the aura of being wiser than her years. 39. Stone's third release in 2009 was Kieran and Michelle Mulroney's Paper Man, a comedy drama which disappointed critics. 40. Rise to prominence, 2010 to 2013. Stone voiced an Australian shepherd in Marmaduke, 2010, a comedy from director Tom Day based on Brad Anderson's long-running comic strip of the same name. 41. Her breakthrough came the same year with a starring role in Easy A teen comedy directed by Will Gluck. 42. 43. Partially based on Nathaniel Hawthorne's 1850 novel The Scarlet Letter, the film tells the story of Olive Pendergast, Stone, a high school student who becomes embroiled in a comic sex scandal after a false rumor circulates that she is sexually promiscuous. Stone read the script before the project was optioned for production, and pursued it with her manager while production details were being finalized. She found the script so different and unique from anything I'd read before, calling it funny and sweet. 44. When Stone discovered that the film had begun production, she met with Gluck, expressing her enthusiasm for the project. A few months later, the audition process started and she met again with Gluck, becoming one of the first actresses to audition. 45. The film received positive critical reviews, and Stone's performance was considered its prime asset. 46. Anna Smith of Time Out wrote, "Stone gives a terrific performance, her knowing drawl implying intellect and indifference with underlying warmth." 47. The film was a commercial success, grossing $75 million against its $8 million budget. 48. Stone was nominated for a BAFTA Rising Star Award and a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, and won the MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance. 49. Stone promoting The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012. In October 2010, Stone hosted an episode of NBC's sketch comedy Saturday Night Live. Her appearances included a sketch playing off her resemblance to Lindsay Lohan. 50 Stone called it the greatest week of my life. 651 She hosted again in 2011, appeared in an episode in 2014, and in its 40th anniversary special in 2015. 52 A brief appearance in the sex comedy Friends with Benefits, 2011, reunited her with Gluck. 53 She followed this with a supporting role in Glenn Ficarra and John Requa's romantic comedy Crazy, Stupid, Love, 2011, alongside Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and Julianne Moore. The film featured her as a law school graduate, and the love interest of Gosling's character. Despite finding some inevitable collapses into convention in the film, Drew McWeeny of HitFix wrote that Stone ties the whole film together. 54 At the 2012 Teen Choice Awards, she won the Choice Movie Actress, Comedy Award for her performance in the film. 55 Crazy, Stupid, Love was a box office success, grossing $142.9 million worldwide against a production budget of $50 million. 56. Dismayed at being typecast as the sarcastic interest of the guy, Stone co-starred with Viola Davis in Tate Taylor's period drama The Help, 2011, a film she found challenging. 57 The film is based on Catherine Stockett's 2009 novel of the same name and is set in 1960s Jackson, Mississippi. She met with Taylor to express a desire to work on the film. The director said, Stone was completely awkward and dorky, with her raspy voice, and she sat down and we got a little intoxicated and had a blast, and I just thought, God. This is Skeeter. 58. She was cast as Eugenia Skeeter Felon, an aspiring writer learning about the lives of the African American maids. In preparation for the part, she learned to speak in a Southern accent and educated herself on the civil rights movement through literature and film. 59 With a worldwide gross of $216 million against a $25 million budget, The Help became Stone's highest-grossing film to that point. 60 The film, and her performance, received positive reviews from critics. Writing for Empire, Anna Smith thought Stone was well-meaning and hugely likable despite finding flaws in the character. 61 The film was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture 62 and won Best Ensemble Cast from the Women Film Critics Circle and the Broadcast Film Critics Association. 63-64 Stone turned down a role in the action comedy 21 Jump Street after signing on to Mark Webb's 2012 film The Amazing Spider-Man, a reboot of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man series. 65-66 She portrayed Gwen Stacy, the love interest of the titular superhero, played by Andrew Garfield. 67 Stone returned to her natural blonde hair color for the role, having dyed it red previously. 68-69 She admitted to having never read the comics, and therefore felt responsible to educate herself about Spider-Man. My experience was with the Sam Raimi movies. I always assumed that Mary Jane was his first love. 70 adding that she was only familiar with Stacy's character as portrayed by Bryce Dallas Howard in Spider-Man 3. 71-72 The Amazing Spider-Man was a commercial success and was the 7th highest grossing film of the year with global revenues of $757.9 million. 73 Entertainment Weekly's Lisa Schwartzbaum found Stone to be irresistible. 74 and Ian Freer of Empire was particularly impressed with Stone's and Garfield's performances. 75 At the annual People's Choice Awards ceremony, she was nominated for 3 awards, including Favorite Movie Actress. 76 Later that year, Stone voiced a role in the crime-based video game Sleeping Dogs, which earned her a Spike Video Game Award. 77. Stone began 2013 with a voice role in the DreamWorks animation film The Croods, which was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. 78 This followed with an appearance in Movie 43, an anthology film which consists of 16 short stories. She played the title role in the segment entitled Veronica. 79 She next starred alongside Ryan Gosling and Sean Penn in Ruben Fleischer's Gangster Squad, 2013, a crime thriller set in Los Angeles during the 1940s. A.O. Scott of the New York Times dismissed the film as a hectic jumble of fedoras and zoot suits, but praised Stone's pairing with Gosling. 81. Established actress, 2014 to 2017. In 2014, Stone reprised the role of Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. She believed that her character did not depend on the film's protagonist, asserting, "She saves him more than he saves her. She's incredibly helpful to Spider-Man. He's the muscle, she's the brains." 82. Her performance was well received by critics. 83 An Empire reviewer commended her for standing out in the film, writing, "Stone is the Heath Ledger of the series, doing something unexpected with an easily dismissed supporting character." 84. The role won her the Favorite Movie Actress Award at the 2015 Kids' Choice Awards. 85 Later that year, Stone took on a role in Woody Allen's romantic comedy Magic in the Moonlight, a modest commercial success. 86 A.O. Scott criticized her role, and pairing with Colin Firth, describing it as the kind of pedantic nonsense that is meant to signify superior intellect. 87. The black comedy Birdman, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, was Stone's final film release of 2014. Co-starring Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, it featured her as Sam Thompson, the recovering addict daughter of actor Regan Thompson, Keaton, who becomes his assistant. Iñárritu created the character based on his experience with his daughter. 88 Birdman was critically acclaimed. 89 and was the most successful film at the 87th Academy Awards. It was nominated for 9 awards, winning 4, including Best Picture. 90 The Movie Network deemed it one of Stone's best performances to date, and Robbie Collin of the Daily Telegraph found her to be superb and tremendous in her role, while also highlighting her monologue in the film, which he believed to have been delivered like a knitting needle to the gut. 91-92 She received Academy, BAFTA, Golden Globe, and SAG Award nominations. 93. Stone at a screening of La La Land, 2016, her performance in the film won her the Academy Award for Best Actress. From November 2014 to February 2015, Stone starred in a revival of the Broadway musical Cabaret as Sally Bowles, taking over the role from Michelle Williams. 94 Deeming it the most nerve-wracking thing ever, Stone listened to a French radio station to mentally prepare herself for the role. 95-96 Marilyn Stasio of Variety was critical of her singing abilities and found her performance to be a bit narrow as an emotional platform, but a smart choice for her acting skills, the perfect fit for her sharp intelligence and kinetic energy. 97. Stone's 2015 film, the romantic comedy Aloha by Cameron Crowe, was a critical and commercial failure. Her portrayal of an Air Force pilot, alongside Bradley Cooper, was panned by critics for its controversial whitewashing of the cast, as Stone's character was meant to be of Asian, Hawaiian, and Swedish descent. She later regretted taking part in the project, acknowledging whitewashing as a widespread problem in Hollywood. 98-99 100 Despite the backlash, Stone was nominated for Choice Movie Actress, Comedy at the 2015 Teen Choice Awards. 101 Also in 2015, Stone starred opposite Joaquin Phoenix as his character's love interest in Woody Allen's Irrational Man, which received mixed reviews. 86 102 She also appeared in the music video for Will Butler's single Anna. 103. During her run on Cabaret, Stone met filmmaker Damien Chazelle, who, impressed with her performance, cast her in his musical comedy drama La La Land. 104 The project, which marked her third collaboration with Gosling, starred Stone as Mia Dolan, an aspiring actress living in Los Angeles. 105 Stone borrowed several real-life experiences for her character, and in preparation, watched The Umbrellas of Cherbourg and films of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. 106 107 For the film's soundtrack, She recorded 6 songs. B. La La Land served as the opening film at the 2016 Venice Film Festival, where it generated critical acclaim and earned Stone the Volpi Cup for Best Actress. 109. It emerged as a commercial success, with a worldwide gross of over $440 million against a production budget of $30 million. 110. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian wrote that Stone has never been better, superbly smart, witty, vulnerable, her huge doe eyes radiating intelligence even, or especially, when they are filling with tears. 111. For her performance, Stone won the Academy, Golden Globe, SAG, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress. 112. Stone's sole release of 2017 was Battle of the Sexes, based on the 1973 eponymous match between tennis players Billie Jean King, Stone, and Bobby Riggs, Steve Carell. In preparation, Stone met with King, watched old footage and interviews of her, worked with a dialect coach to speak in King's accent, and drank high-calorie protein shakes to gain 15 pounds, 6.8 kilograms. 113. 114. The film premiered to positive reviews at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival, and certain critics considered Stone's performance to be the finest of her career. 115. Benjamin Lee of The Guardian praised her for playing against type, and for being strong and convincing in the part. 116. Even so, the film earned less than its $25 million budget. 117. Stone received her 4th Golden Globe nomination for it, and attended the ceremony with King. 118. Films with Yorgos Lanthimos and Professional Expansion, 2018, present. Stone collaborated with director Yorgos Lanthimos on several projects, such as The Favorite, 2018, and Poor Things, 2023. She won her 2nd Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in the latter. In 2018, Stone and Rachel Weisz played Abigail Masham and Sarah Churchill, respectively, 2 cousins fighting for the affection of Queen Anne, Olivia Colman, in Yorgos Lanthimos' historical comedy drama The Favorite. She found it challenging to be an American among an all-British cast, and struggled with mastering her character's accent. 119. The film premiered at the 75th Venice International Film Festival to critical acclaim. 120. Michael Nordini of IndieWire praised Stone for taking on such a bold role following the success of La La Land, and termed the 3 lead actresses a majestic triumvirate in a period piece that's as tragic as it is hilarious. 121. Stone then executive produced and starred in the Netflix dark comedy miniseries Maniac, 2018, directed by Karihoji Fukunaga. It featured Stone and Jonah Hill as 2 strangers whose lives are transformed due to a mysterious pharmaceutical trial. An admirer of Fukunaga's work, she agreed to the project without reading the script. 122. Judy Berman of Time magazine was impressed with Stone and Hill for their growth as actors since Superbad and noted the complexity in their performances. 123. Stone received her 5th Golden Globe nomination and 3rd Oscar nomination for The Favorite, and additionally earned SAG nominations for both Maniac and The Favorite. 124. 125. 126. That same year, Stone appeared in Paul McCartney's music video for his song Who Cares? 127. Stone reprised her role as Wichita in Zombieland, Double Tap, 2019, the sequel to 2009's Zombieland, which received mixed reviews and grossed $125 million worldwide. 128. 129. She narrated the Netflix documentary series The Mind, Explained, 2019, and reprised the voice role of Eep in The Croods, A New Age, 2020, the sequel to 2013's The Croods. 130. 131. 132. In 2021, Stone played Cruella de Vil, originated by Glenn Close in the previous live-action adaptations, in Craig Gillespie's crime comedy Cruella, a Disney live-action based on the 1961 animation 101 Dalmatians. Starring opposite Emma Thompson, Stone also served as an executive producer of the film alongside Close. 134. The film was released in U.S. theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access to positive reviews and grossed $233 million worldwide against its $100 million budget. 136. Justin Chang of Los Angeles Times wrote that despite the film's flawed screenplay, Stone was wholly committed, glammed to the nines. Chang favorably compared it with her performance in The Favorite, adding that she nailed every nuance as another lowly young woman turned ambitious schemer. 137. For Cruella, Stone garnered another Golden Globe nomination. 138. In 2020, Stone and her husband, Dave Meekeri, launched the production company Fruit Tree. 139. Their first project was the independent film When You Finish Saving the World, which marked Jesse Eisenberg's feature directorial debut. 140. The film premiered at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival, and had modest reviews. 141. 142. The company's next release was the comedy Problemista, directed by Julio Torres. 143. It premiered at the 2023 South by Southwest, and was initially scheduled to be released that year, but was delayed due to the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. 144. 145. Both films were produced in collaboration with A24. 146. Stone at the 2024 New York Film Festival premiere of A Real Pain. Continuing her collaboration with Lanthimos, Stone starred in his short film Bleed, 2022, and feature film Poor Things, 2023. 147. The latter, a fantasy coming-of-age film, is based on the novel of the same name by Alastair Gray. 148. Stone also produced the film, in which she starred as Bella, a young Victorian woman who is crudely resurrected after her suicide. She found the experience of playing a character liberated of societal pressures to be extremely freeing. 149. And she performed nudity and several sex scenes in it. 150. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Stone gorges on it in a fearless performance that traces an expansive arc most actors could only dream about, and particularly praised her ability to perform physical comedy. 151. Stephanie Zacharek of Time termed her performance wonderful, vital, exploratory, almost lunar in its perfect oddness. 152. Stone next executive produced and starred in the Showtime satirical comedy series The Curse. 153. She played Whitney, an influencer who hosts an HGTV show with her husband. 154. Commenting on her achievements of the year, BBC Culture's Karen James opined that Stone has quickly moved past Hollywood stardom to claim serious artistic credentials. 155. She received 2 more Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress for her performances in Poor Things and The Curse, winning for the former. 156. 157. Also for Poor Things, she won her second Academy Award and BAFTA for Best Actress in addition to a Best Picture nomination. 158. 159. The 2024 Sundance Film Festival marked the release of 2 films produced by Stone for Fruit Tree: the horror film I Saw the TV Glow and Eisenberg's second directorial, A Real Pain. 160. The latter, a comedy drama about 2 mismatched Jewish American cousins, received critical acclaim and several accolades. 161. In her 4th collaboration with Lanthimos, Stone played 3 characters in his absurdist anthology film Kinds of Kindness, which premiered at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival. 162. Mashable's Robert Daniels considered it to be the weakest among their collaborations, and labeled her as miscast. 163. In 2025, Stone first appeared in Ari Aster's contemporary Western film Eddington, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and also starred Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, and Austin Butler. 164. 165. Ben Krall of The Wrap felt that while Stone and Pascal were no doubt game and ready to let loose, their characters aren't given an awful lot to actually do, with both set up less as fully fledged characters than as images for Phoenix to pine for or run against. 166. Stone will next reunite with Lanthimos in Bugonia, a remake of the South Korean film Save the Green Planet. 167. Reception and acting style. Stone at the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con. Her hair, eyes, and husky voice have been described by the media as her trademarks. 168. 169. Commenting on her performance in The Help, Kirk Honeycutt of The Hollywood Reporter called her one of our very best young actresses. 170 times. Daniel D'Addario stated in 2015 that Stone appears to have fairly limited options and choosing roles in independent films by less established directors would represent a substantive risk. 171. Analyzing her on-screen persona, Jessica Kyang of IndieWire noted that Stone usually plays the approachable, down-to-earth, girl-next-door type, and in person she demonstrates many of those qualities too, along with an absolute refusal to take herself too seriously. 172. Biographer Karen Hollinger wrote that at the beginning of her career, Stone was often labeled a star ingenue, a perceived limitation she escaped despite not being a classically trained actress, as she crafted a brilliant career based on performative skills, careful choice of roles and distinctive personality. 173. In a 2024 analysis of Stone's career trajectory, IndieWire suggested that from breakout roles to acclaimed performances in indie films, Stone is positioned as a potential new movie star in Hollywood's evolving landscape. 174. In 2008, Stone topped Saturday Night Magazine's Top 20 Rising Stars Under 30 and was included in a similar list compiled by Moviefone. 175. 176. Love Film placed her on their list of 2010 Top 20 Actresses Under 30, and her performance in Easy A was included in Time's Top 10 Everything of 2010. 177. 178. She appeared in the 2013 Celebrity 100 list, a compilation of the 100 most powerful people in the world, as selected annually by Forbes. The magazine reported that she had earned $16 million from June 2012 to June 2013. 179. That same year, she was ranked first in the magazine's top 10 best value stars. 180. In 2015, Forbes published that she had become one of the world's highest paid actresses with earnings of $6.5 million. 181. The magazine ranked her the world's highest paid actress 2 years later with annual earnings of $26 million. 182. In 2017, she was included on Time's annual list of the 100 most influential people in the world. 183. Stone has been described as a style icon, with her hair, eyes, and husky voice listed as her trademark features. 168. 169. Vogue credits the actress for her sophisticated, perfectly put together looks, writing that her charisma, both on screen and off, has charmed many, and for her embrace of old Hollywood glamour. 184. 185. B. Shapiro of the New York Times called Stone a likable, spunky, talented, self-deprecating, and slightly goofy actress who is diverse in her fashion choices. 186. In 2009, she was featured on FHM's 100 Sexiest Women in the World and Maxim's Hot 100. 187. 188. The latter also placed her on the list on 3 other occasions: 2010, 2011, and 2014. 189. In 2011, she featured on Victoria's Secret's list of What is Sexy as the sexiest actress. 190. She was mentioned in other media outlet listings that year, including People's 100 Most Beautiful Women, each of FHM's and FHM Australia's 100 Sexiest Women in the World, and Men's Health's 100 Hottest Women. 191 She was ranked 6th on Empire's list of the 100 sexiest movie stars in 2013. 192 Stone was named the best dressed woman of 2012 by Vogue and was included on similar listings by Glamour in 2013 and 2015, and People in 2014. 193 194. Personal life. Stone and Andrew Garfield in 2014. Stone moved from Los Angeles to Greenwich Village, New York, in 2009. 14 In 2016, she moved back to Los Angeles. 12 Despite significant media attention, she refuses to publicly discuss her personal life. Concerned with living a normal life, Stone has said she dislikes receiving paparazzi attention outside her home. 195 She has expressed her fondness for her profession. 12 And has cited Diane Keaton as an acting influence, calling her one of the most covered-up actresses of all time. Stone has a close relationship with her family. 4 She says, "I am blessed with a great family and great people around me that would be able to kick me in the shins if I ever for 1 minute got lost up in the clouds. I've been really lucky in that sense." 187. Stone dated her Paperman co-star Kieran Culkin for 2 years. In 2011, she started dating her Amazing Spider-Man co-star Andrew Garfield for 4 years. 196 197 Their relationship was reported in the media with various speculations. The pair refused to speak publicly about it, though they made several appearances together. In 2014, on an occasion in New York City, Stone and Garfield encouraged paparazzi to visit websites that spread awareness of causes such as autism. 198 In 2015, they were reported to have broken up. 199 200. Stone met Saturday Night Live segment director Dave Meekary on December 3, 2016, while hosting the show. They began dating the following year. On December 4, 2019, they announced their engagement. They married in a private ceremony in September 2020. 201 In March 2021, Stone gave birth to their daughter named Louise Jean. 202 203 204 As of 2021, the family lives in Austin, Texas. 205 In 2022, Stone sold her house in Malibu, California for $4.425 million. 206 And in 2024, she sold her Los Angeles home for $4 million. 207. Stone has said she suffers from asthma, which she discovered after having difficulty breathing while filming Easy A. 208 Her mother was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer and cured in 2008. 209 Stone and her mother celebrated by getting tattoos of birds' feet, designed by Paul McCartney, a reference to the Beatles' song Blackbird, which she and her mother love. 210 Stone is a supporter of